All right, welcome back. I hope you're having an awesome time so far. Our next speaker is Januarius Asongu. He is the VP Supplier Assurance Services at JP Morgan Chase. Please join me in welcoming him to our virtual stage.
Good afternoon. Again, my name is Januarius Asongu, and I go by JJ Asongu. And my presentation today is going to be on how to use AI for third-party risk management. First of all, I would like us to understand what is third-party risk management. When we are talking about third party, we are talking about suppliers or vendors. So when you are talking about third party risk management, our focus is on our suppliers or on our vendors. So third party, supplier, or vendor are all synonyms of the same concept. During today's presentation, we are going to look at the concept of AI. We are going to talk about third party. We are also going to talk about how to use AI for managing third party risk. We are going to also look at some of the examples of AI in third party risk management, the benefits of AI in third party risk management, and we will conclude by making an argument that we have to move from data to correlation. The biggest challenge for firms is less about dealing with completely new types of risk and more about existing risk, either being harder to identify in an effective and timely manner or manifesting themselves in unfamiliar ways. That quote is actually from Deloitte. Now let's talk about using AI in third-party risk management. First of all, managing cybersecurity risk has been evolving. Initially, the whole idea of third-party risk management was data-driven. However, the trend is that it is moving to AI-driven, and hopefully, what we want to get at is at a level where there will be a correlation. And what do we mean by that? We are going to find out how both data and AI can really help us to do third-party risk management in a much more effective manner. Artificial intelligence is basically a theory and a development of computer systems able to perform tasks that are normally required or normally done by human beings or require human intelligence. So that is what artificial intelligence is. And artificial intelligence would include things like visual perception, speech recognition, decision support systems, and learning under uncertainty. We have talked about various concepts like machine learning, and machine learning is basically the ability to improve computer systems performance by exposure to data without the need to follow explicitly programmed instructions. Another concept that is important when we are thinking about AI or artificial learning or artificial intelligence, is the concept of speech recognition and natural language processing. Also, visual recognition is a very important aspect of AI, of artificial learning, and also the concept of deep learning. What I would like to say here is that when we say AI, we may be referring to one or more of these concepts. Now, again, in order to understand how to use AI in third-party risk management, it is important to understand what third-party risk management is all about. And I would say that third-party risk management is also referred to as vendor risk management, and it is a process of analyzing and controlling risk associated with outsourcing to third-party vendors or service providers. Increasingly, the scope of vendor management is extending to subcontracting and on-sourcing arrangements to mitigate third-party risk. By this, basically, the argument here is that when you buy things or software, or you buy hardware or even services from a vendor, there is a possibility that those vendors could introduce a vulnerability into your systems. And therefore, third-party risk management is actually trying to help you protect yourself against vulnerabilities that may be introduced into your systems, into your organization from your vendors or from your third parties. And as we've mentioned, we also have to look at the vendors who supply things even to our vendors. That is what we're calling third parties or subcontractors. Now, when we are involved with third-party risk management, there's a lot of due diligence that is important. And what do we look at when we are doing this due diligence? Basically, one of the main ways that third-party risk management is done is by assessing the risk that our suppliers can pose to our organization. And the way that this risk assessment is done may differ from company to company, but usually there are three or four main steps that you may use. First of all, you begin by doing a scoping, understanding the risk. You do a scoping meeting in order to understand the scope of the relationship. Then you go ahead to submit questionnaires to your vendor. The vendor then responds to those questions, and you then do an on-site meeting or a virtual assessment or field work. And the purpose of the field work is to verify the responses that they give you and to do a deeper dive into understanding their environment. And finally, when you do that, at the end of the day, if you identify any issues, any gaps in their systems, then you may come out with a remediation plan, and you will share that with the vendor. And in most cases, you would require that the vendor mitigates those problems or solve those problems in order that you can be assured that your system remains effective, or that your system is free from the risk that may be posed by your vendors. There are various organizations have different types of risk management systems, and some organizations have really mature systems, while some are still struggling to establish a third-party risk management system. So there is a maturity level that you can look at each organization has its level of maturity. So you have like a basic level where the organization is still struggling to put together a model that they can use. And then as things become well organized, you have a process that is much more organized, and mature organizations have a very well-developed program, a program that could a program that can effectively protect them against threats that may come from their suppliers. Now, in the past, as I mentioned at the beginning, most of our third-party risk management was basically focused on data. Today, it is important to use artificial intelligence to help us identify some of those challenges, some of the issues in third-party risk management. However, it is important in stating that AI, artificial intelligence, will not necessarily replace the role of the assessor, the role of human beings in the third-party risk management process. So AI does not replace people or their experience or even their judgment. The judgment of humans, of third-party risk assessors, remains very important. And therefore, technology is simply to augment human intelligence and to add value by making it more accurate and by improving on productivity. When you implement a good third-party risk management system, especially if you use AI in order to implement such a system, you can build a much more efficient system. And what it helps you to do is to enable you automate risk categorization. And by automating risk categorization, what we are referring here is the ability to build rules and risk scoring algorithms into your systems. You can also, AI can also help you in doing what we refer to as intelligent tagging. It also helps you to digitize workflow and to automate triggers. And finally, it can help you in conducting periodic screening with machine learning. Other ways in which AI can help in third-party risk management is by developing interactive dashboards or audit trails. What we mean by interactive dashboards and audit trail is simply the ability to customize dashboards that provide near real-time updates and gives everybody visibility to the progress of the risk remediation actions. Another example of using AI in third-party risk management is what we call system of engagement, where it integrates the sourcing platform, compliance database, and vendor management tools. Also, AI can help improve the third-party risk management function through the use of fuzzy search criteria, by which you filter unstructured data to reveal only relevant red flags. Finally, natural language processing is also an important aspect or an important activity when we are talking about using AI in third-party risk management. So what are the benefits of AI in third-party risk management? One of the main benefits is that it helps us deal with large amounts of data. Thanks to artificial intelligence, you can really analyze large amounts of data in a very short time, something that would take a much more resources and a longer time if you had to do it manually. It also increases confidence in the decision-making process. It allows scalability, and it could also help to reinforce adherence to organizational best practices. Now, to conclude, let us look at the move from data to correlations. As I stated at the beginning of this presentation, third-party risk management initially was focused on data. And there has been an increased amount of data that third-party risk managers have to deal with on a daily basis. So for example, they have to look at logs, they have to look at packets, files, they are dealing with multiple users. So all of these, every day, the data keeps on increasing, and it's difficult to manage this data or to interpret this data if you are using manual processes. So to resolve or to help improve the system, there has been a move recently to migrate or to move from just doing manual activities to automating these activities. And automation has been made possible thanks to AI. So using AI, you can use machine learning to analyze much more data than you could have done manually. And this has really helped us to improve our results, to improve our accuracy, and to conduct third-party risk management in a much more effective and efficient manner. However, the challenge here is that we cannot completely, that the movement from data to AI should not be a complete break. It should not be a complete break. As we said, AI has not come to replace humans. Rather, AI is there to help the human, to help the risk assessor or the risk manager to do his or her work much more effectively. Therefore, by using by using the various AI resources that are out there, there are a number of solutions out there, you can really enable yourself to come out to develop and to develop a much more effective third-party risk management system, and to identify issues that may be related to, that may be originating, issues that may be originating from your suppliers. Because the goal of third-party risk management, as we stated at the very beginning, is that the goal is that you protect your systems from the vulnerabilities that may be stemming from, or vulnerabilities that may be introduced to your system from third parties. And as we pointed out, these third parties, the best way to protect yourself is by assessing them, by assessing your third-party systems. And the role of AI is basically to help you conduct that assessment much more efficiently. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you could stop sharing your slides so that we can say a proper thank you. Awesome. Thank you, JJ. We really appreciate you sharing your insights with us. And we are looking forward to learning more about this awesome work that you're doing.
Thank
All
you.
right. Awesome. All right. If you're looking for your next session, you can go ahead and check out your agenda or take some time to connect with your peers with some virtual networking. Thanks so much, and we'll see you around.